It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda business starts here. So welcome to Mind Your Business. I am your host, Jamillah Lodge, and I'm pleased to have you here with us. Lorene Phillips, you are a principal with Sandler and founder of Clarendon Wallace. Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about an upcoming workshop series that you are offering through your relationship with Sandler. But before we do that, let's kind of get to know you a little bit better. Tell us about yourself and how you came to be an entrepreneur.
I love that question because I think I've always known that I had an entrepreneurial mindset. I just didn't know that I would become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So for about 30 years of my career life, I was an underwriting executive, had a completely different world going on. I worked not only in Bermuda, but overseas, and rounded off my career in the London market and came back to Bermuda end of 2019.
Okay.
And it was a wonderful transition because I was thinking of what next. And I wish I could tell you that it was like somebody wrote something on the wall and that was it. But I always knew that what I'm doing now was what I always wanted to do. So 8 years before, I retrained.
Okay.
I started taking courses, and I would fly to London once a month on a Friday night, do the courses on the weekend, fly back on Monday, and back to work on Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
And I did this for 2 years, and about 5 or so people knew what I was doing. So it was really, undercover. That's how committed I was. And that's how I became certified as an executive coach and a personal coach. I wanted to do both diplomas at the same time, which was a big responsibility to take on, but I really wanted to get through it. But the timing wasn't right. 3 kids, demanding career responsibilities. The timing wasn't right financially as well. But 2019, it just felt like coming back home was just a natural transition. And I thought, if I'm ever going to take a step,
now will be the time. Yeah.
And so I did in February of 2020, and I think we can all remember.
Yeah, we remember what was going on.
Yes, about 3 weeks later, we heard words like shelter in place, etc. And I thought my whole world was turned upside down. I mean, I left a very lucrative career that I was very, very good at and took this huge leap. And I just decided after about 5 minutes of what the heck, I just calmed myself down and I just talked to myself. I said, Lorene, you've done this before. You've developed books of business for large organizations. You're doing it for yourself. And so I just shift my mindset and start applying those same principles. And so here we are almost 6 years later.
Yeah.
And I just continue to evolve. I evolve with the business. I evolve with my clients. I continue to grow so that I can go with my clients and take them to the edge of their learning and where they can be. And so that's a nice segue into Sandler. Like, how did I end up with Sandler?
How did you end up? You're right.
Yeah, I was just like minding my own business. And I got a phone call from a really good personal friend and colleague and professional. And, you always hear me talk about networking and the value of relationships. He and his wife had worked in Bermuda for many years, and they had moved back. They're Canadians, and they're now living in Cayman Islands. He's in the wealth management side of the business, a banker for years. And he too, I guess, looking at his 2.0 and decided to purchase a franchise in the Caribbean called Sandler, Sandler Caribbean. And it's a part of a larger organization, global organization that specializes in sales training and business development.
Okay.
And so there are 5 territories that are included in that, and Bermuda is one of them, Jamaica is one of them, Cayman is one of them, Turks and Caicos, and the Bahamas. And he said I was the first person that came to mind that he would love to be a part of this venture. It was a natural extension of what I do because as an entrepreneur, you're in the business of sales.
Correct.
Actually, if you're in any business, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're working for an organization, whichever part of the business you're in, you're touching sales in one way or the other. And I just think that there's a good way to do sales and there's a not so good way to do sales.
Right.
And I've seen it done poorly. And when I look around, there wasn't any sales training on the island where people can become really competent and true sales professionals. And so there was a gap in the market there. And I thought, why
I'll
not?
fill it.
I'll fill it.
Why not? No, I mean, I do agree with you. We work at BDC with entrepreneurs all the time, and that's hasn't been our focus, really. It's about getting them up and running, what's required. But then once you get up and running, now what? Now you got to go get the money, right? And so I think through Sandler, there are specific techniques, right, that you can use to help you get the money. And so that's, I guess, where you come in, right? Now,
Yes.
as a principal with Sandler, you can share your learnings about what's required. So how did you get up to speed with that type of technique or the sales technique that is taught through Sandler?
Well, first of all, so we went through the training ourselves.
Okay.
So my partner, the owner of the franchise, is Gregory Fletcher, right? So Greg and I actually went to our own boot camp, and it was like drinking from a hose. And it's amazing because you're in a room with other cohorts, people in your cohort, and you could see the light bulb going off when they're showing you, what the typical salesperson
Yes.
does.
And you're like,
this.
that's me. I've done that.
That
Been
is
there.
so me. There I am, chasing that person, chasing for them to respond, chasing. That's the part I hate, is
Yeah.
the chasing. I don't like chasing people. To me, it feels demeaning. It feels, I know I have something of value to have. Why am I taking that posture and that kind of position in
Right.
the relationship? And so just learning how to do that better and how to be more empowering as a sales professional. You notice I'm using the word sales professional?
Yes.
Because even our words embody that, right? So we enter into a sales conversation, knowing that we are bringing something of value to the table, and it's okay whether or not someone accepts or rejects. You move on to the next person because you're not the right person for everyone.
Right.
Your product may not be the perfect product for someone else. Our job is to find out what the core needs are of that potential client or customer and determine if it's a good fit for us.
Right. So and I think that's where people get caught up, right? Because you're starting this business, you're like, I need to make some money. I have all these expenses I need to cover. So everybody is my client, right? I need to be trying to get everybody to sign up to buy the thing that I'm selling, whether it's a product or service. And it sounds to me like you're saying that's not the way to go.
It's understanding. First, you got to build rapport.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you understand what the real needs are, what are the pain points, and that takes time. I think so many times you're so anxious to close that you don't really listen for what the real need is or what the real needs are.
Right.
So as soon as you hear, I have and you hear that first problem, you're thinking, aha,
Yeah.
I can solve that. But if you allow the conversation to continue on, you'll start to hear the real need. And it's something much deeper than what you think it is. So it's us as sales professionals learning how to control the process of the sales and then allow the potential client or customer to make the decision without feeling pressured, without feeling like they're boxed in a corner.
Right.
Because they'll probably say yes to you and then you start chasing.
So this upcoming workshop series that's happening February 21st, it's
Yes.
a half-day workshop.
Yes.
So we're really excited about that because it's going to create an opportunity, I think, for entrepreneurs and small business owners to get access to specific techniques that they can use to help them get the money, not chase the money, but actually close those sales.
Yes, and close faster. So your ability to be able to determine what the true pain points are will allow you to create a solution that meets that particular need. So what you'll find is you'll get more yeses. So I practice Sandler. So it's not about like this, I'm offering this, but I haven't used it.
Right.
So, and I can tell you what the difference is. The difference is, first, you're more empowered going into that sales conversation. Secondly, you give the space over to the client and the customer to feel comfortable knowing that whatever decision they make, it's okay. if they walk away because it doesn't fit, that's fine. Perhaps it's a better fit another time. Or better yet, they may know someone who your product or service could be a better fit for.
Right.
Get a referral from them. And no doesn't mean just a no from them. It could be, okay, is there someone else, based on what I've shared with you, that you think would be a good fit for what I'm offering? Actually, I do. I know XYZ. So more business opportunities come that way.
And that's interesting because I don't know that people think of it that way, right? I feel like people are like, I'm trying to close this sale and I'm trying to get this business. So if the answer is no, that's the end of it. Like the relationship is over and I move on to the next person. But I'm hearing you say that that could be an opportunity for you to use that person as a connection to your actual client.
Absolutely, because that time you've just invested in sharing about your products, your services, the value that you bring. Don't waste it.
Right.
You know, you have someone that's sitting in there. The fact that they've sat through that conversation tells you that they were interested in the first place. And they have access to similar clients that may need your service, that they could be a referral to. And so we'll teach you how to do that, how to get that next referral and do it well, right? Also, the other part that I find really great for me when I practice this is the amount of time I save by being able to identify the right customers for myself.
And I was going to ask you that because in one of our
a lot of time.
In one of our sections, we when we were running our accelerator program for like growth entrepreneurs, there was a module in there that talked about the right customer, right? And I think that is also difficult because you're saying potentially, oh, you're not the right person for me. So they don't even have to tell you no. You can arrive at the fact that this isn't a good fit. How do you do that?
You do that. So it goes something like, let's role play. So, Jamillah, I hear your problems are XYZ. Well, based on the products that we offer, unfortunately, that's not going to be a good fit for us. You see how I've done that?
Yeah.
Right? And maybe now we start... It may not lead to a sale, but it leads to a relationship.
Right.
You see, it's not just about the transaction. It's bigger than that. Because who knows, a year from now, 30 days from now, something may come up in conversation with somebody else and the person goes, you know what?
I know somebody.
I know someone I think would be a great fit. Why? Because it wasn't about just selling them something. It was about being honest, being upfront. Because the last thing you want to do is promise something that you can't deliver on. I mean, that's the worst way to build a reputation.
It is.
You know, that goes around like wildfire.
And it's true because you do it because you're trying to do all the things.
And you're so desperate. And that's another thing is you get so desperate in the sales process that you're over-promising things.
Yep.
That
and
you can't,
under-delivering.
delivering. And that's a short-term approach. This is a long-term approach to understanding how to have a process and a system that works, that you can repeat over and over. So it saves time. Time is money. That means that time that I've saved, I can then use that to pursue the right client for me, and I can move on and move on and move on.
So let me ask you this, because when you talk about time is money and spending the correct amount of time, and then you talk about chasing. So how do you... or when do you determine when it's not going to be a yes? And how do you cut your losses? Like, is there a time frame that you should be saying, okay, if by this date this doesn't happen, then it's a no-go?
I can't tell you all the secrets because then people won't come to the workshop. Right? But we will tell you and show you, and we'll have do exercise and role play about the questions you should be asking, the type of, even having an understanding at the beginning of a sales conversation about what the purpose is of that conversation and what the possible outcome is going to be, and agree on that before you just start chattering. So have a purpose. This is what we're meeting to discuss. This is what I would like to discuss. What would you like to discuss? Oh, I would like to talk about XYZ. Okay, and at the end of our meeting together, this is the outcome we are looking. Either yes, we're a good fit, or no, we're not a good fit.
Right.
And that's determined from the very beginning. So no, you don't have to chase them to get that, because you've sorted that out from the beginning.
Right.
Right. And so we focus a lot also on qualifying. So if they say, yes, I'm a good fit, then that's the beginning. Now you should be talking to each other. And then there's a part in the process as you continue where you qualify that client. Can they afford you?
Right.
You got to have that conversation up front. You know, what I don't do anymore, where you waste time, is putting together proposals and putting it on people's desk. And then you start the chase. And the question, the whole point is they can't afford it.
Right.
And they don't know how to tell you they can't afford it. So have that conversation up
early.
front. If we should work together, this is what my typical rate is. Give them a range if that's what you need. Does this sound like something that you would be able to invest in? They'll be able to tell no or yes, it is, but it's going to be a problem.
Right.
Then you said, okay, where are the challenges for you? It could be, well, I got to get it to my boss. Okay, so what would you need from us to get that approval? Ahead, getting all of this sorted out before you put anything in writing.
Right.
So by the time I put a proposal to a client, the answer was already yes.
Right. You've already established that there's a need and there's an opportunity.
And we've addressed any obstacles or anything that can get in the way. And so now we're working as partners.
Right.
I'm working in partnership with my potential customer or client to get the deal done.
Okay.
That's a whole different relationship.
It is, and you would think it sounds like common sense, but it's not.
If it was so easy, we would all do it.
Yeah.
Most people don't. Rejection is a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, to be told no.
Yeah.
No. You know, we take it personal, you know, because we just think that.
Why,
Of course.
Why wouldn't you? I'm the best thing.
But you're not the right person for everyone.
Right.
And you know, we're professionals here. We're professionals here. And that's okay. You know, maybe you're not the right person, but you may know someone in your network that you think could be a better fit for that potential client.
So let me ask you this, because when I hear sales professional, I'm thinking these are, you know, this is the role for a multi-million-dollar company, large corporations. They have whole sales teams, right? But it's just me. I'm just an entrepreneur. I'm selling my, I don't know, shoes or whatever it is that I'm selling. Why should I invest in this type of learning or knowledge?
What you're going to lose if you don't. The opportunity cost of not investing in that particular skill set means that you will not make as much money as you can. It means that you are wasting time in areas that you shouldn't be spending time with potential customers that are not going to be your customers anyway, which means that you're missing out on the right customers that you should be spending time with and getting traction there. So there's an opportunity cost to not doing it. Yes, you can continue doing what you've always done and you'll get what you've always gotten. Or do you want more? And if you want more, if you want to be more successful, if you want to expand your business, if you want to tap into other areas, expand into other services or other product lines, then you have to be a sales professional. My motto is the first person you lead is you. It's on everything that I do. Any little brochure, anything, you'll see it there. The first person you lead is you. Self-leadership. So I don't really concern myself about big organization. It's about how do you lead yourself. And so as a sales professional, selling a product or a service, you are who they're buying from. People buy from people.
Right.
You know, interestingly enough, sometimes you'll buy an inferior product from
Somebody you like.
because you like them.
Yes.
No, I'm
true.
serious because it
It's
comes down
true.
to that human factor.
Yes.
And so
Very true.
that is very important. So you could have the best product and no one's buying it because you don't know how to sell it. You don't know how to engage with, build those communication skills, build those relationship skills, have those really honest, integrous, empowering conversation. Put yourself in a position of leader around the product and the service that you're providing and being able to hold the space when the answer is no, it's not right for me. You can say, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you engaging in this conversation. Maybe another time it will be better suited. And you move on, right?
So let me ask you this. So you get a no, right? You say thank you for that.
A no could be not right now. There are many no's.
That is
There are many.
what I was
So you
gonna
need to dig
ask
deeper.
you. Yes.
What are they saying no to?
Correct.
They could be saying no to the price. It could be, but they could be saying no to just not right now. There are all these other things that are going on that doesn't make this the right time.
Right.
So can we talk about this? Let's do 3 months. So you don't leave until you get that commitment, right? Because you don't want to be chasing.
Right.
Your best moment is when that person is right there in front of you. Okay, let's get our calendar out. Okay, so 3 months from now. I'm going to use us as an example.
Yes, use us.
So I had reached out to you back in March or thereabouts when the business was launched. That was our official launch, was March of last year. And here we are sitting almost a year.
Yeah.
What? It takes time. The sales cycle can take a long time depending on what your services are, what your products are. It could take a year. It could take 3 years. Okay? But it's going through the process.
Right.
So I did a Sandler on you. You got Sandlered.
I got Sandler.
And I just made sure I knew you were interested. I knew this was something you wanted to do. I spent time really understanding what your core needs were, what you wanted for your clients, what you wanted for your entrepreneurs to experience. And we just kept that going. I hope you didn't feel pressured.
And I did. And I want to say what I appreciated is the fact that you maintain contact. Because sometimes you get so caught up in to doing all of the other things that it's something you want to do, but you just don't have the time to sit. So, and if you forget, right, like you've had that contact, but I've moved on to something else. So if you hadn't have kind of said, hey, just checking in, what do you think? Then it would have been something that was one of those things that was on the list, but it just kept moving further and further down the list. So I didn't feel pressured, and I appreciated the fact that you did keep checking in, because I feel like at the time it was, this is great, but not right now, right? It wasn't a no, it was just not right
now. And so I remember saying, when do you think it's a good time to reach out again to have this conversation? And you said whatever. So I diaried that. And so when I follow up, I'm like, okay, last time we spoke, you said around, is that still a good time? Because it could be, no, it's still not a good time. Maybe it's...
We got to push it back.
Exactly. Yeah. But I know, or I knew at the time that you had qualified for me as a potential client. Because I knew that I had something that was matching what your core needs were.
Right.
So we met that. It's just going down the process and making sure that we can seal that deal and what it was going to look like.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all techniques that I think all of our stakeholders would benefit from, hence why we're trying to do this workshop. So from your perspective, who would be the ideal person to be part of this workshop?
I say anyone who thinks they're not a salesperson, but they're selling a service or some type of goods, you're in sales.
In my
you
mind,
are in sales.
Whether you like it or not.
You are. Okay?
Even like from my standpoint, from an organization perspective, a lot of times we have to go out for sponsorships.
You're in sales. You're selling. You're offering something.
Nonprofits are trying to get donors.
Huge. And, you know, it's the same thing. It's understanding the process. And it's a repeatable process. And it's how to do it so easily that it just flows and it's just a conversation. It's not gritty. It doesn't feel hard. And, you know, those awkward moments, do I say now what it is I'm asking for?
Yeah.
If it's a third sector asking for donorship, or maybe the next meeting I'll ask. No, now you can come up front. You can say, this is what we're looking for sponsorship. Does this fall within your remit of what would be satisfactory? The answer might be yes or no. If the answer is no, then there are a set of questions that you can ask.
Right.
But it's you really coming into that sales conversation with a sense of owning you and what it is that you have to offer, and not, taking a position of less than or weaker than the person that you're trying to engage with.
Let's talk a little bit more about that, because I do think that usually when you're the seller, you're deferring to the person who you want to buy your goods. So how do you kind of rejig your mind or retrain yourself to think differently?
We'll teach you how to do that.
I'm trying to get all the goods. You got to go to the workshop.
You got to go to the workshop, but it's really a shift in the mindset.
Yeah.
It's a shift in mindset and understand positionally where you are in that conversation. So I'm hoping that when I engage with you, you didn't I didn't come across to you as if I was offering something of less value than what I thought you were offering.
You did.
So it's really positioning myself as having equal business stature as my potential client, not less than, equal to. Do you see the shift?
Sense, yeah.
So therefore, you can now have some real good, honest conversation. Like adults.
Yes, like adults.
Like adults, as opposed to, acquiescing or playing small or less than. If you come in knowing this is what I have to offer, I know it's of value. If I can determine what your needs are through this conversation, then together we can determine if we're a good fit or not. And if we're not a good, it just takes the pressure off you, the seller, and it takes the pressure off the buyer.
Yeah.
Who likes that?
Right.
Nobody likes that.
Nobody likes a high price. You're like, oh God.
So when we go around, and we're doing that to others, I'm saying we can do better.
Yes.
We can do better.
So I'm thinking we have a lot of tradesmen in Bermuda. And so I think sometimes, like you said, you're good at the craft. You're good at doing and building and doing all those things. But are you good at getting the business? And those are sometimes hard conversations to have, right? Because let's say I'm the homeowner and I want to do this renovation. And so I have in my mind what I want to have. And a lot of the contractors or people who've been in our courses often have a hard time sticking to it. And they're like, you're losing money on these jobs because you're not utilizing a sales kind of technique or strategy when you're having these conversations with your clients.
Yeah, they're not qualifying them. So they're not qualifying them well. So basically, they're doing the work for the wrong client. A client that was never going to be able to afford their services in the first place.
Got you.
So that's a poorly qualified client. And so that's ripe for challenges down the road.
Right.
So qualifying early is one of the things that we do. We qualify early and then we close fast. Not closing and then trying to qualify after we've closed the deal.
Right.
That's the wrong order. The horse is out the barn.
You are right. You are right. You know what I mean? It's too late now.
Like, oh my gosh, she signed up for...
And we agreed at this price, but now...
Yeah. But it's think about it. It's your fault as the seller of that service for not doing a really great job in making sure that that client can afford your services.
Right. Yeah.
But that's what happens when you engage out of desperation and you just want to get that job, etc. So we're going to really teach you how to slow the process down and how to manage that process, lead that process, and get everything that you need to make the best decision for your business to succeed. And then leave the decision up to the potential customer or client to decide whether or not that's a good fit for them.
So with the workshop, it's a half day, right?
Half day,
so
yes.
it's 9:30 to
9:30 to 12:30.
Okay.
Lunch is included.
Okay.
And it's going to be a lot of information coming at you. So we're going to be putting in a lot of role plays, and you'll get to see us work together with you to demonstrate these techniques so that you can apply them immediately. You can apply them immediately. You can apply them immediately. Because if it's not practical, it's not, it's of no use.
Right.
I believe in making things really practical, easy to understand, and easy to apply. And about the mindset, we have to start up here first. Really shifting your mindset about where you are positionally as a seller of a good or service. What is your behavior? What is your attitude? So and what techniques are you going to use? Actions you're going to take. So the Sandler sales system is deep in science and psychology as well, and all that will be brought into the room, and we'll bring live experiences. It will be fun, and we believe that to really hone this particular skill set and any skill set, it's all about repetition.
True.
Okay? It's reinforcement. It's learning it over and over, practicing it over and over to the point where it just comes automated in your head. You just know exactly what you need to do. You notice I'm doing a wheel because it's something we do over and over. How you start, how you go through, go all the way around. And it just makes doing your business more fun because you're not spending time chasing the wrong people, the wrong clients, the wrong customers.
Because that's a lot of energy, and it's wasted energy.
Discouraging.
Yeah, it can be.
It can be so discouraging as an entrepreneur. I mean, I want wins. I want to close deals that's actually going to happen.
Right.
And so the more I can hone my process the more likely I'm going to be able to do more of these, close more deals, and my business will do better, and I'll be more successful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So let's talk about how people can register.
Yes.
So they can register on our website at bedc.bm. You can pay for the course there.
Yep.
What is the cost?
$350. Now, that's a really good price.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
Because you're going to get myself in the room, and you'll get Gregory in the room as well.
Okay.
Two of us with just years of deep experience, not just in large organizations, but as entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah.
So we're bringing real experience. We've been trained and certified by Sandler to deliver this training.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a good space. You're in a good room. You're going to be led by individuals. We know what we're doing.
Right.
We've been successful at it, and we want to do more of this type of training, certainly here in Bermuda, to help individuals to understand that sales doesn't have to be sleazy.
No.
It's a professional skill that when you develop it, it is beautiful, because you not only get to respect yourself as a seller, but you're respecting your potential customers and clients in the way that you go about doing it, right? So
Absolutely.
that, right? So we want to bring back the professionalism in claims,
And I think
in sales. Sorry.
the return on that investment is just going to be times 10, right?
Oh my
Because if
gosh.
you know how to do it, you can close yourself, you can qualify.
Qualify fast, qualify slow, close fast.
Yes.
That's the key.
That's the key.
Yeah, you got to slow that part down, slow it down. And then once you get it, then you can close.
Yes. Yeah, because you've done all the hard work.
The hard work. Do the hard work up front.
Yeah.
And then the rest is going to be fun. Now you can enjoy delivering that service. Now you can enjoy, creating those products or delivering those products. Entrepreneurship is already challenging. Let's find one way to make it easier.
Right.
And make more money.
Why not? Right? That's why we're doing this.
So right? We're doing it to make money.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And we are always saying, if you're not making money, it's for a charity. But I go back to the point of everyone who is providing a product or service needs to know how to sell. Whether you're a nonprofit or a charity, you got to close the deal. And so it takes money to do these things. So how are you going to get the money? Let's learn how to do it effectively, where you can save your time and get the right amount of money that you're worth, right?
Absolutely.
You get paid what you're worth.
Yes, and enjoy being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because being told no all the time because you're talking to the wrong people, or you're not having the conversation where you're really understanding what their real pain points are, and you're offering solutions that are not solutions.
It's disheartening.
It's disheartening for you and your potential customers and clients.
Correct.
So we want to change that.
All right. Well, on February 21st,
yes,
that's going to be the start. So again, log on to bedc.bm to register. $350 is light work in terms of investing in yourself. I'm sure you can get that return on that investment in the first sale.
Oh, immediately.
Immediately.
Absolutely, immediately. And you'll get time back.
Yeah.
And I can't put a number on that, but time back can really free you up, and hopefully you'll build a network while you're there as well. You get to meet other entrepreneurs,
awesome.
And you can connect with them. You can share with them that you've been practicing it, what it's doing, how it's working.
Yeah.
We'll check in on you. So you'll have a workbook. Like I said, it's going to be fun, just well facilitated, very real, practical. And very engaging.
Awesome.
Yes.
So if people want to learn more about Clarendon Wallace or Sandler, how can they reach out and get in touch with you?
Well, they can go directly to my website, lorenephillips.co, and there's actually a drop down that has Sandler there, and then from there you can click right into Sandler.
Okay.
So nice and easy.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Lorene, for minding your business with us. And remember, if you don't mind your business, who will?
That's right.
Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.